So welcome back to another episode of Reboot. And firstly, thank you for all of the comments, the likes, and the additional subscribes to the channel on my last video, which was on the expat bubble. So for this video, and I appreciate it's 8 or 9 days since I made my video on why Cambodia is not Thailand Lite, not Thailand 2.0, not Thailand 20 or 30 years ago. But I want to respond to some of the comments that I had on that video. There were a lot of comments, a lot of likes, but equally there were a number of comments that were disparaging. There were a number of comments that were withheld by YouTube because they were considered offensive. So I thought, rather than respond immediately, as people who know me professionally and personally know, I take time to think about things before responding. So this is the response to some of those comments and why I think there are two distinct things at play here, ego and identity. So we'll take a dive into that as we walk around the rather beautiful symbol of Cambodia's cultural identity, Angkor Wat. So let's go there now. So for this first section, I've called it Why Comparison Stings. And I think it's important to perhaps explain two different terms, identity and ego. So from my perspective, identity is who we are. It's where we come from, what we belong to, and how we explain ourselves to the world. Ego, on the other hand, is the protective layer that flares up when identity feels threatened. Ego says, don't compare my country to yours. Don't suggest we were influenced by anyone else. But here's the truth. All countries influence each other. We're living in a global era where culture, infrastructure, fashion, technology, everything is cross-pollinated. No country stands alone. No culture is untouched. There are, of course, things that we are rightly proud of as nations. So in Cambodia, Angkor Wat is not just a cultural landmark, it's a spiritual and historical symbol of a once great empire. In Thailand, the Grand Palace is a living reminder of royal legacy, artistry, and cultural continuity. In the UK, we celebrate Stonehenge, Shakespeare, but even there, our national identity is layered with centuries of influence. Beyond these deep-rooted national treasures, we have to be honest, very few things in modern life are truly original anymore. So when someone compares your country to another, I understand why it can feel like judgment, especially when that comparison comes from a foreigner. But often it's just someone sharing their lived experience. I think the problem starts when our ego overrides our ability to listen. Outrage becomes a defense mechanism, and we argue instead of reflecting. And we lose in that argument the chance to actually understand one another. So please, let's challenge the idea that being different means being lesser, or that critique means disrespect. So for this next part, I've called it How Culture Actually Works. And I think let's ground this firstly in specifics. So if you think about, for example, the BTS SkyTrain in Bangkok, it was built by Siemens, a German company. The new Siem Reap International Airport was designed and financed by Chinese firms. The red phone boxes in the UK, they were influenced by classical Greek styles. Cambodia's cashless payments, again influenced by payment models that exploded first in China. Coffee culture in Thailand, Australia, Italy, and Starbucks all helped to influence. The list goes on and on and on, but none of this makes any country less. It just shows how deeply connected we all are. And I don't think this is about one country learning from another. It's about all of us sharing, adapting, evolving. That's how progress happens. Cambodia's influence on Thailand is ancient and profound. The Khmer Empire helped shape early Thai cities. Classical Thai dance and architecture evolved from Khmer court traditions. The royal language in Thailand contains many Khmer words. Meanwhile, both countries today reflect regional styles, media flows, and commercial crossovers. Khmer pop music echoes styles heard in Thailand. Thai convenience stores and retail ideas show up in Cambodian cities. And this isn't imitation. It's a shared regional identity shaped over centuries. Borders don't stop culture. They redirect it. They remix it. And Western nations are exactly the same. The UK, where I'm from, is a mosaic of Norman, Roman, Viking, and Indian influences. America's cuisine, it's Italian, Mexican, Chinese, all at once. French fashion draws from African, Japanese, and Arab aesthetics. Even Christmas, widely seen as a Western tradition, is a blend of pagan rituals, Christian narratives, and modern commercialism. Yet when developing countries, and I think this is key, when developing countries like Cambodia adapt global styles, people accuse them of being inauthentic. And that's not identity talking, that is purely ego. Authenticity isn't about isolation, it's about how well something is absorbed into the fabric of daily life. Just because a shopping mall looks Western doesn't mean that the experience inside isn't uniquely local. Just because someone wears Korean-inspired fashion doesn't mean they aren't proudly Cambodian or Thai or Indonesian. The truth is every layer, every culture is layered. The clothes we wear, the food we eat, the apps we use, they're all hybrids. Nobody owns culture. It evolves, it travels, it blends. So I think when we shame developing countries for embracing outside influence, we're not protecting culture. We're protecting ego. We're saying, you can't grow unless it's on our terms. And that's not pride, that's fear. And let's be real, if influence makes something inauthentic, then the world is full of frauds. British people eating chicken tikka masala, Americans doing yoga, Cambodians using iPhones. Where is the line? There is no line. It's just our own discomfort with seeing change, and that's something we all have to grow through. So this last part I've called a more honest way forward. And like I said in the video comparing, it wasn't even comparing Thailand with Cambodia, it was talking about differences. But if I go back to that video, I explained that I spent 10 years living in Thailand and I've spent the last 5 living in Cambodia. I've also obviously lived in the UK. And here's what I've learned, that Thailand is undeniably polished, it's structured, it's deeply hierarchical, with a strong sense of public image and presentation. Cambodia, on the other hand, is rawer, it's more emotionally open. People are quick to laugh, to cry, to connect. And the West prioritizes individualism. It prioritizes systems and personal freedom, but it also suffers from disconnection and over-regulation. They each have strengths, they each have struggles, and none of them are better. What matters is understanding why these differences exist and how they shape the way people live, think, and feel. So let me ask a question. Why is it okay for Japan to influence the world in design and transit, but not okay when cultures adapt and blend here in Southeast Asia? Why does global influence offend us only when it hits close to home? We should be proud of what we've built together, and that includes acknowledging what we borrow. Let's stop seeing influence as weakness. Let's start seeing it as a strength. Because I think the moment we let go of ownership, we open ourselves to belonging. Not just in one place, but in many. So if you love your country, don't deny its influences. Celebrate how it evolves. Real pride is open, not defensive. So please, let's stop guarding our identities with ego. Let's embrace the messy, beautiful, borrowed nature of culture. Ego closes the door and identity opens it. Let that be the conversation that we have next. So that's it for this vlog. And if you're here to the very end, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought it was better to make a video to reply to some of the comments that I received rather than reply individually. And I hope it comes across as grounded and respectful for both cultures. Please, if you do make comments on this vlog, keep them respectful, keep them grounded in identity rather than ego. And I look forward to continuing the debate. But Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.